No, the gentleman in question is still a member, nothing has changed pertaining to that, and we're having internal discussions and reviewing the situation.
So he's not going to be expelled by the organization? Well, let me ask it this way. What does your constitution say about someone who behaves in the manner that he's behaved, or someone who announces plans to form a new party? Does that not violate the MK Party's constitution?
Well, look, there's been a number of transgressions on the constitution. By the way, the same constitution that was drafted by the person in question, Floyd Shibambu. In many of the prescripts of the Constitution, it states, that, for instance, you are on probation for 24 months. You cannot form another political party. And there's a number of other things that point to some of those transgressions, including, by the way, one of those that led to, him being removed from his seat and redeployed elsewhere. So, yes, there have been transgressions in the Constitution. But what we're doing internally is that, we're not people in leadership that take rash decisions. We apply our minds. And we need to understand what is this thing that he's coming up with. I mean, he's a member of Umkhonto weSizwe. And to account, to a great extent, he has to account to us as the leaders of Umkhonto weSizwe. I mean, he's an ordinary member. He's wanted to go and set up this initiative. What is this initiative? If we're talking about Umkhonto weSizwe being the platform that ought to unify black people, what is this consultative process that he's undergoing? So we want to see what he's obviously going to say on Friday. We are tracking, his activities, his interviews, and we'll make a determination with the guidance of the leadership and the president.
Okay. So we were told that he's going to move to Parliament and be a member of Parliament, but then he wasn't on the list. How do you explain that? And even before he made his own announcements, I remember there were already issues being raised around him not being on the list.
Upon further review of when a person leaves office, you now get access to certain documentation, and as part of that handover process, which he still has to thoroughly hand over. There were things that we picked up that we felt could be concerning for the party if he were to be sent to Parliament. As a law-abiding organization, as an organization that serves the people, that leads lawmakers in Parliament, we can't find ourselves in a situation where we have a member there that's not going to necessarily have the full interests of the party at heart. And that decision, remember, had to be taken very quickly, over and above the fact that he's obviously ongoing with his own consultation process.